$400 billion. That's the size of the American auto parts aftermarket, and most investors have never given it a second thought. But behind those red and white storefronts sits one of the most durable, recession-proof, Amazon-proof tenants in all of net lease real estate. Here's the economics of owning an auto parts store and why sophisticated investors quietly love them. Start with how these stores actually make money. An auto parts retailer serves two very different customers under one roof. There's the do-it-yourself shopper, the weekend mechanic grabbing brake pads or a new battery. And there's the commercial side, the professional repair shops that order parts all day long and have them delivered. That commercial business is the quiet engine of the whole operation. The numbers are stable in a way few retail categories can match. A typical store runs 6,000 to 8,000 square feet on a high visibility corner. The aftermarket it feeds is a $400 billion machine. And here's the tailwind. The average car on American roads is now over 12 years old, a record. Older cars break more, and they need parts. That's demand you can actually underwrite. Now, why do net lease investors specifically love this category? Two reasons most retail can only dream of. It's recession resistant and it resists Amazon. When the economy tightens, people don't buy new cars. They repair the ones they already have. Parts demand actually goes up. It's one of the rare retail businesses that can be counter-cyclical. And the Amazon problem? When your car won't start in a parking lot, you can't wait 2 days for shipping. You need the part now, from someone who knows it fits. On the commercial side, the big chains run hub stores that deliver to repair shops within the hour. That immediacy plus fitment expertise is exactly why this category has held its ground while so much other retail got hollowed out online. This is the part outsiders miss. The leading chains operate a hub and spoke network. Larger hub stores carry deep inventory and run delivery fleets that supply the smaller stores and local garages all day long. A mechanic with a car on the lift can have the right part in his hands in under an hour. That logistics moat is something an online-only retailer simply cannot replicate. Here's where it gets interesting for the passive investor who just wants to own the building. Auto parts stores are almost always structured as triple net leased real estate. The retailer signs a long-term lease, runs the entire business, pays the expenses, and writes the landlord a check every month. You own a hard corner retail building with a national tenant and very little to do. These are some of the cleanest leases in net lease investing. Initial terms run 15 to 20 years, backed by the corporate guarantee of the parent company. Most are absolute triple net, NNN, meaning the tenant covers taxes, insurance, and every maintenance cost, right down to the roof and parking lot. Rent typically steps up 5 to 10% every 5 years. The major names, AutoZone, O'Reilly, Advanced Auto Parts, and Napa, anchor the category. Because the credit is strong and the leases are long, these trade at some of the tighter cap rates in single-tenant retail. AutoZone and O'Reilly, both investment grade, change hands around 5.25 to 6.25%. Advanced Auto Parts, after recent credit pressure, trades higher, closer to 6.5 to 7.75. Most deals land between $1.5 and $3 million, an accessible entry point for a 1031 buyer. But never buy the building without studying the tenant. In net lease, your income is only as strong as the company guaranteeing the rent. AutoZone and O'Reilly carry investment-grade credit ratings, which is exactly why they command premium pricing. A weaker or franchised operator means more risk, and you should be paid for it with a higher cap rate. Tenant credit, lease term, and the guarantee structure matter more than almost anything else. And we have to address the elephant in the room, electric vehicles. EVs have far fewer moving parts and need less routine maintenance. So over the long run, that's a genuine headwind for the aftermarket. But put it in perspective. There are roughly 280 million vehicles on US roads, the overwhelming majority gas-powered, and the average age keeps climbing. The transition will play out over decades, and the smart chains are already stocking EV components, plus the tires, brakes, and wipers that every vehicle still needs. Strip away the tenant, and what you really own is a piece of well-located retail real estate, a hard corner on a busy arterial with strong traffic counts, easy in and out access, and solid demographics in the trade area. Those fundamentals don't depend on what's under the hood. If the use ever changed, a freestanding building on a signalized corner has value to all kinds of tenants. The land and the location are the durable asset. Putting it together, an auto parts store is a low drama, durable net lease asset. Long corporate leases, recession and e-commerce resistance, and pricing that's within reach for the everyday investor. They're a staple for 1031 exchange buyers who want truly passive income backed by a national tenant, and who would rather own a boring building that pays like clockwork than chase something flashier. Auto parts stores prove that the most boring looking real estate often makes the most dependable investment. The economics reward investors who understand tenant credit, lease structure, and location. If you're evaluating single tenant net lease retail in Central Florida, that is exactly what we do at MaxLife Commercial. The link to connect is in the description.